I went from a few hundred views a month to over 50,000 views a month in under 2 years, all thanks to Pinterest. And the best part is I only spend about 30 minutes a week scheduling my pins, and today I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I'm Rebecca, and I help women create simple online income without the stress. Now, before we get started, if you're not sure how to find keywords or even how to come up with pin ideas, I've linked to another video in the description where I walk through that step by step. But for now, let's jump straight into how to schedule your pins fast. So we're going to start with pins that you already have created, whether you use your own or my free Canva templates, which I've linked below. So I just open my project, which I have right here in Canva, and I download these pins as a PNG for the highest quality. So you're going to hit share and then download, and then the file type is going to be PNG, and you're going to click download there, and it will take a second to download all of these pins. And if you need help designing pins that actually get clicks, I've also linked my full tutorial on that in the description, plus another video on how to set up your Pinterest account if you're brand new. So now I'm going to click here, and it's in my downloads. Okay, so now I'm going to open ChatGPT, and I'm going to open my ChatGPT prompts that I have pre-made, and that will help me to generate SEO-friendly titles and descriptions for my pins fast. And for the sake of this tutorial, I've already come up with keywords that I'm going to use for the titles and descriptions here, but if you need help with that, I've linked a video below where I walk through how to find keywords and how I use both the main and the sub keywords to help your content show up in front of the right audience. This really saves me a lot of time because I don't have to start from scratch every single week. And if you want these exact ChatGPT prompts and the tracking sheet that I use for my pins, I'll leave those linked in the description below as well. So I'm going to start out with this first prompt that's going to give me my titles that I want. And then I'll go to ChatGPT, and then I'm going to put in the main keywords that I want in my title. Then I'm going to put in the sub keywords that I want in my title. And then my blog post is on 25 fall conversation starters, so I'm going to enter 25 in here, so we'll put a 25 in front of all of my description or my titles. So then I hit enter and let it generate all my titles, and there they are generated. Then next I'm going to go to the next prompt, which is going to give me my descriptions. So I'm going to copy that prompt in here, and I'm going to enter in these titles here that it just gave me so it can match it with the descriptions, as well as some keywords that I would like to show up in the description that I've researched, and these are good keywords for Pinterest. So I'm going to copy those keywords, and I'm going to paste those keywords in here. And then I'm going to hit enter, and then it should generate my titles with my descriptions. So now let's jump to the Pinterest scheduler. And I really love this because it's free and it works well and it keeps everything in one place. And I've used paid tools in the past, but honestly, this one is my favorite. So I'm going to click up here on the menu, and then I'm going to click on create pin, and you want to make sure to create pin and not create pin for idea ad. So click on create pin, and then here is the Pinterest scheduler. So you just go through here and fill out all the information. So the first thing it's going to ask you is the board name. So in my scheduler, or my tracker, I already have all of my board names set up that I want to use. So I just copy the first board name, select board up here, and paste it in and select it. And then I'm going to go to ChatGPT and get my first title. and then I'm going to paste my title in there. Then I'm going to paste in my description, and then my alt text, I usually use the blog post name, which is 50 Creative Fall Conversation Starters. So I'm going to paste that in for the alt text, and then you're going to paste in the destination link, which is my blog URL in this instance. And then I'm going to drag in my first pin image from my folder that came from Canva. And then you're going to select when you want to publish it. So I usually publish mine to schedule it out on a later date. So I start with one date, and then the time I have found really doesn't matter, so you can select any time. And then that's it for your first pin. And then all you have to do after this, instead of recreating another pin from scratch, you hit these little dots up here, click that, and click duplicate. And now duplicated is the exact pin that I just made. So I'm going to just switch out the information. So I'm going to go to my tracker here and click or select the next board that I want to use, and then click up here on the board and then paste that in for it to search, and select the board. Then I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and go to the next title and copy that and paste that title in, replace it with the previous one that I had, and do the same thing for the description. Copy it in and then paste it. And then make sure to change out your image. And then I usually leave the alt text the same for all of my pins. And then of course the blog URL is going to be the same because it's leading to the same blog post. And then I usually schedule my pins about 3 days apart. So I'm going to choose 3 days apart for that. And then I'm done with the second pin already. Then I'll show you one more. So we're going to go up here to these dots and click duplicate. And then I'm going to see what the next board is that I want to use, and then copy it from there and search it. And then I'm going to go to ChatGPT for the next title. And then I'm going to paste that title in, and then go back to ChatGPT for the next description and paste that description in. Then I'm going to make sure again to change my image out and leave the alt text and the URL the same, and do about 3 days later to schedule out this third one. So after that, I usually just want to make sure that I have swapped out all the things that I need to swap out. So the board names, just scroll through, make sure those are changed, the titles, the URL, make sure you change out your picture, and that you change the dates. And when you're ready to publish, you just click on this circle up here, and then the first pin is selected, but you can go over here to select all the pins at once instead of going through and clicking each individual one. And then I won't publish this because I've already published this blog post, but when you're ready, then you would hit publish, and it would publish all 3 of these at the same time. So again, I usually do 10 pins per blog post, so I do 10 of these, but just for the sake of time, I'm just showing you 3. Then after you hit publish, it will show you a screen with a confirmation that tells you that they have been scheduled, that your pins have been scheduled, and that's all that you have to do to schedule your pins. And if these tips are making Pinterest feel just a little bit easier for you today, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next tutorial. So the native scheduler lets you plan pins up to a month in advance. And as I mentioned in my regular workflow, I do create 10 pins per blog post and schedule them out about every 3 days. So if you want my full system on tracking and how to know what I've already pinned, that is also in my Pinterest starter system, and that is linked below. So that's it. You create your pins, you use your saved ChatGPT prompts to come up with your titles and descriptions, and then you upload to Pinterest, you set your schedule, and you track. And this is exactly how I keep my Pinterest running consistently without feeling like it's taking over my life. So if you want my prompts, the tracking sheet, and the exact system I use, check out the link below for my Pinterest starter system. And don't forget to watch those other tutorials I mentioned for finding keywords, designing pins, and setting up your account if you're starting this fresh. Thanks so much for watching, and if this helped, give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.